Yeah, yeah. I said Big G Slack, give it straight, never cap.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the 15 Minutes with G Slack show, where we aim to humanize those who are demonized or misunderstood. I am your host, G Slack, Super Slacker, Slack the Savior, Slack your boy. And today I'm here with one of my good friends, one of my past collaborators, a huge influence out in Philadelphia. He's making a crazy wave right now, my boy, Prince J. What's going on, man?
Yo, what's good, man? Just chilling, working as always.
So, what's the latest in your music, man? What's like in the past 2 weeks? What have you said is the best project right now that you got going on?
Shit, bro. It's all over the place. I'm working on a bunch of R&B stuff, so I know a lot of people like my R&B, so I'm doing that. I'm also actually working on a new like EP album kind of thing. Um it's all storytelling. It's I can't even talk about it much. It's super dope. I just
Okay.
gotta put it down, you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
actually performed it at the show though, so it was cool.
Oh, it's your latest High on Life show?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I've seen you've been doing those a lot lately. What is this? You're like, I don't want to quote the wrong number, but like fifth or sixth show, I think that I've seen.
Nah, actually, so the last one we did was our third one that we put on. So
Oh, okay. My apologies.
no, you good, you good. And now it's fun. It's been a good time. The first one, well, all these three, you know what I mean? Every time I do it, I just kind of take something from it, learn and try to, move forward and keep it pushing and make something even better the next time. So
Yeah, and it definitely gives like people in your area a great platform and avenue to really see where they want to go with their stuff. So what is the importance to you of really, because you're the only person I know from Philly that's pushing it like that. You're really making yourself a hub. So what would you
yeah.
say is the importance of connecting all the people around you and really making a community in the industry?
The big importance is just the community in general. So it's like if you really think about it, and anyone will tell you this, and especially people that are up, um, you can't really make it happen by yourself. Like you can, but it's a lot less likely. You know what I mean? Now, if you have relationships with all the people around you, if this person's winning and this person's winning, you winning too. And if you win and this person's winning, you know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of about sharing and making something happen. It's like stairs, you know what I mean? If one person's down, the other person's most likely up. They'll be able to help out a little bit. And the more and more people you got doing that, it makes it a lot easier for everyone collectively. So
So tell me a little bit about how you started Royalty Studios. Was it with your brother? Was it just you? What's the motivation behind that?
So for the most part, it's more dolo. My brother, he does his own thing too, but it's not really connected to Royalty Studios. But I started it like I think November of last year. So it's a little over a year that we officially started. Like I got the LLC and everything like that. Like we're an official company. Um, but I really started to like push it heavy the past maybe 6 7 months, and it's been cool. It's been a little bumpy road, but as any business owner would tell you, it's an up and down. It's a battle, you know what I mean? You gotta really fight hard to make it happen. And like the High on Life shows, it's the same thing. Every time I go and do something different, I learn from it and kind of push back to make it even better the next time.
And you are definitely somebody who has experience in a lot of different avenues with the same kind of music niche. Like you've done a
Yeah,
whole bunch of different things. You've thrown shows, produced albums, shot music videos. And even way back when I first heard about you, you was doing like remixes and things like that.
yeah.
So tell me a little bit about how you started and how you started recording and that, okay, I'm gonna just put this out and let the people hear what I got.
Yeah, man. So I really started more towards the end of 2017. It was probably like I don't even know, maybe August, something like that.
Okay.
It was I know I was in high school. I haven't graduated yet at the time. So there was this like 10 toes down challenge that was going around on Instagram. I don't know if you remember that too much,
I
but
think so.
yeah, so I started that. I just kind of fell for it. I've always liked music, you know what I mean? Rap, R&B, literally any type of music. I've always messed with stuff. And I never really got into it until I did a 10 toes down challenge on Instagram, and I just did it on my phone, you know what I mean? I wrote it and then I recorded it on my phone and just posted it on my IG. And at the time I didn't have like, a music page or anything like that. It was just my personal page. And people was messing with it. So I was like, "Oh, word." So I did another one, and people just kept liking it up, and they were like, "Yo, this is dope, bro, keep doing it." And since then I was like, "All right, bet." I got my own little setup and just started going with it.
So did the remixing in any way like influence you to want to start, making your own changes on say the instrumentals of the songs or really going in to be able to engineer it and make it sound the way you want?
Oh yeah. If I didn't do remixes, especially because I've done covers and remixes as well. The covers,
Mhm.
it kind of helps me as an artist to what would you call it, experiment with a whole bunch of different stuff. So like I'll take a song, say for example, let's just throw Justin Bieber out, right? So if I mess with a song with Justin Bieber and it's tough, the vocals are nice, I like the runs and stuff, I'll try to mimic that. And that's kind of what helped grow my vocals, help my mixing skills, because then I'm trying to get it as close to this song as possible with my own voice and I mean things like that. But um, doing that has helped me gain the experience to change different things around, produce my own beats and stuff like that too. I never really changed the instrumentals too much. That's a great idea. I've never really thought about it, but just I think that's a good idea.
I think that if you like took a nice little sample and did the same flow on a
Mm,
remix, that would be fire, man. That'd be crazy.
word. I might have to try that shit.
I really wanted to ask you about your project, Broken Hearts Don't Beat the Same.
Word.
Man, that was a standout project to me, man. You know that every time I had that no talking on, I'm sending you a picture of it type
Hey,
thing.
yes, sir.
So the new project that you're talking about, are you gonna be getting into your, I don't know, lyrical rapping bag, lyrical singing bag, R&B bag? I know you said R&B, but sometimes artists will throw a whole bunch of different stuff on there and
Yeah.
call it an R&B album. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Yeah.
what's the avenue that you're kind of heading in the next month or two, let's say?
Yeah. So I'm definitely I've been in my boom bap, real lyrical storytelling stuff heavy. And so that's what this whole project is. It's 7 tracks. Some of them are like little interludes, but I'm throwing scenes in there, so sound effects. I want it to be like a like an audio movie in a way. So I really want the listeners to like get into it and just kind of join a whole different world. You feel me?
Yeah, so you are somebody who I know is very technologically savvy. I know that for a fact. You definitely a whiz. Is that something that helps you out when you're, working with new clients through Royalty Studios? That's something that like you utilize for them, or you kind of keep it to yourself? Because I know some people that do it like that. Do you give them all the sauce, or what do you do?
So in in a whole, I started Royalty Studios because really I like making music and just anything that revolves around music, just the arts, like I was talking to you before we even started the interview. Um, so for the most part, I like to give people the sauce, show them, what I mean, the avenues that I can take them down and what I can do to really help. Because in the end of the day, if they're coming to me for a studio session, a music video, even just an album cover, in the end of the day, we making art, you know what I'm saying? And I like to make the art as best as possible, and that even goes into the marketing. You know what I mean? If someone needs help marketing, of course, I need a little change from that, but I like to make it happen. I like to help wherever I can, really.
And I can attest, like when we met on Snapchat, you was definitely somebody who gave very good and critical input. And for instance, when we did our songs together, like even on a phone call, when I'm in Detroit, you in Philly, we always finding ways to improve. You giving me sauce because at the time you were more experienced than I was.
Hmm.
So I was definitely looking to you as somebody who was okay. This dude is actually going, genuinely help. He want to see people succeed. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
right.
And that's why I think it puts you in a good spot where you're at the head of your Royalty Studios and you're running it because I couldn't think of many other people that I would know that will run like an entire hub of content, being music, social media, videos. I know haven't you done a couple interviews yourself for Royalty?
Yeah, yeah, yep.
Yeah, so the interviews as well. Like I don't know many people who are doing all of that stuff for all of their clients. So
Yeah.
I gotta give you a pat on the back for that. That's fire.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
Some of your past collaborators. We're gonna talk about them a little bit. You and your brother have done a whole bunch of stuff together. What's your guys' relationship like after you both started doing music and both hopped into the industry?
It's definitely connected a lot more. I mean, me and my brother have always been close. We're not really too close in age. I think he's 18 right now, so I'm like math. I don't even worry about it right now. I'm 23,
Old.
so yeah, oh, a lot older. But so we've always had a little bit of a connection, but with that age gap, it's the interests have been a little different. But since he got into music, what I mean, now it's like, oh, as the older brother, it's I'm able to be a mentor in a way and help guide him and a whole bunch of different stuff. And like now he does his own studio sessions with people. He makes his own music. He has his own little studio downstairs and he does his stuff. So it's dope to see that. But we always have had a connection with that type of stuff. So it's definitely been a nice ride, especially, putting together songs like Olay, for example. Like that type of stuff we've made at like 4 a.m. You know what I mean? Like,
Did you have any mentors or any people that kind of guided you in what you wanted to do or how to figure out mixing and sound tech and things like that?
not really, unfortunately, bro. And that's why it's taken so long for me to perfect what I'm trying to do. And of course, no one's perfect. I'm still not at the point that I want to be yet. But that growth has really come from like YouTube. YouTube is my mentor. I call it YouTube Academy, bro. It's like you can learn whatever you want. Like I'm for the visuals for this project. It's called The Name Is Jay. But for the visuals, I'm doing a whole like I'm using Blender, I'm doing 3D animation, like I'm doing a whole different world of things, bro. So again, bro, YouTube's really been my mentor.
So I want to talk a little bit about like the visual art of it. That's not really my prowess. I'm more of I'm more of an audio sound type of guy. What's your main software? Because me personally, when I use like, when I want to make a YouTube header or a thumbnail or an Instagram template, I use like Canva. What do you use?
Word. Yeah, when I first started making stuff like that, like I've done YouTube videos since I was like 12, 13. So at that time there was no Canva. But I got into usually I use like Adobe. So like Photoshop, if I'm doing anything like animation wise, maybe like Premiere or After Effects.
So do you do any like handiwork art? You do any drawing, painting, anything like that?
Oh yeah, yeah, OD. Like I don't know if you've seen The Same Old Kid.
Yeah.
But that whole album cover, like I sketched up, and I actually have the sketchbook here. I drew up the sketch, really rough, and then I kind of made more details, took the picture, put it onto my computer, and I have a drawing tablet, and I just, I painted the whole album cover.
I think I've seen one of those before. Is it called a Wacom tablet? Is that the same one you
Yeah,
got?
so I have one of those, but then I
Okay.
upgraded to one that has a monitor built in. So now I'm just drawing on yeah, it's super tough. It was
That's
definitely worth it.
fire. That is fire, man. The art scene is just improving so much nowadays with things like NFTs and people being able to
Mm-hmm.
create their own AI art and things like that. And it's kind of something that's storming the industry right now. What's your opinion? Because you somebody who does everything by yourself. You make sure that your name is on the work, nobody else is you taking full credit. How do you
Yeah.
feel about certain people that have been using AI art almost exclusively?
Really, I mean, in the end of the day, I feel like, yo, whatever way you make it happen, you make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it's not an issue to me. It doesn't bother me, doesn't change the way I look at anything, especially if the artist feels as though, I mean, that's something that they want to do. It's all about their choice. And if they're making their music and then putting the AI art album cover, like if it looks tough, it looks tough in the end of the day. I know I've seen a lot of controversy about it, and actually I responded to some people on Twitter because I seen a whole post like they were like bashing the AI art because basically what it does, it takes all the artwork off of like the internet and kind of just references them and it
Yeah,
tosses like all of them together. And so I can understand how people are like frustrated by it, but at the same time, it's like, yo, it's not stealing your work. You
right.
know what I'm saying? Because it's made a whole separate artwork, maybe based off of the style and the way yours is, but isn't that the same thing as an artist? Don't you take inspiration from other artists?
And it's become so almost like automated these days. You, as somebody who knows social media, how would you say, if you can give a little bit of sauce on the podcast for me, how would you say for the young artists or young models or young videographers that's listening, like what's a little shortcut that they can get to, not a shortcut, but like what's
Hmm.
some sauce that could get them past that algorithm? Because I know for a lot of people, especially with people with no like good engagement, no good followers, it's
Yeah.
really hard for them to break that line.
Yeah, right. I haven't even broken the line yet, but it's, I mean, it's all about consistency, really. Like you said, the shortcut thing, there isn't one. And especially with how people think there's a shortcut or they want to find the shortcut. If you want to find the shortcut, that means you're not really cut out for it. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's something that takes hard work every single day, and you just put in, put in, put in, put in, and you might not get anything back until maybe one day. Like I said, I haven't hit that line yet. but I've definitely seen return from my investments, whether that be money or time or whatever the case may be. I've gotten everything back. You get what you put in, and
Mm-hmm.
that's really the best advice that I can give. And if it's something that you're passionate about, just continue to do what you do and have a good time with it. What I've learned recently is to don't take it as serious as I have been. I like to I'm real anal about things. I like to plan shit and have like certain times, certain dates for certain things, but that's just not sustainable. It's a lot, especially with an art craft. It's a lot easier to come in and be like, all right, bet I'm gonna do this right now. Basically, motivation is bullshit. Motivation is not something that is actually a thing. Because once you become consistent and you continue to do it every single day, it becomes routine. And routine
Mm-hmm.
is what will take you farther than motivation. Because motivation, you might not have it one day, but
Yeah.
that routine, it sticks.
Yeah, it's really about breaking that cycle. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? If you got a habit that's hindering your productivity or hindering you from where you want to go, you got to break that cycle every
Yep, yep.
single day. Every time that intrusive thought hits your mind, you got to get rid of it. You know what I mean? And hey, I think honestly, I think that's a great note to leave out on, man. So before we go, you got anybody you want to shout out?
Really, I just want to give a shout out to everybody that's listening. If you're listening right now, shout out to you. You tough. Thank you. I appreciate it. And then also just the people that, I work with every single day. My boy, Sir Joel the Kid, my brother, Jeremani. And then, my close friends, Scotty, and just, my family, everybody that just supports me on a daily basis. You know what I mean? With the stuff that I'm doing. It's definitely hard sometimes to, put all the faith in what I'm doing because not everybody makes it happen. So I really I just appreciate the support from literally everyone. My girl, like she's been with me for a minute, and I could tell it's ride or die kind of thing. So I'm definitely excited to keep pushing forward. Again, shout out to everybody that's listening right now. You're gonna see a lot more
Shout
of
out
me.
everyone.
Yes
Shout
sir,
out
yes sir.
everyone. Okay, can you say my tagline for me real quick? I'm gonna let you know what it is.
I got
Say,
you.
I'm Prince J, and I just did 15 minutes with G Slack.
Word up. Yeah, pause. But all right. Yo, it's Prince J, and I just did 15 minutes with G Slack.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. I said Big G Slack, give it straight, never cap.